Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Chef You and I. Tonight I have a real treat for you. We are going to be making one of my favorite recipes of all times, and it's B&B chicken. And we're going to eat small portions of this because it's a little heavy, but it's going into winter now. And don't forget that you need stuff to keep you going through the day. But besides that, we're making everything with lemons tonight. I'm doing a limoncello cake with lemon candy on the top with wonderful, beautiful icing. And then we're going to make a pineapple upside down cake for dessert. And then a great, wonderful salad to go with our B&B chicken. So the first thing you want to do is, and I've done this already because everybody knows how to cut chicken up, I hope. But I've cut chicken up in little pieces like this, as you can see. And I already parboiled them in chicken free-range, low-sodium chicken broth. So the first thing we're doing is we're going to put our chicken into this wonderful pot, which is a 360 pot, and a wonderful thing that you can do slow cooking with. But we're adding the chicken, that's first. And that's about 4 chicken breasts. Then we're going to add our wonderful mushroom soup, cream of mushroom soup. I learned this wonderful recipe. I made it up a long time ago when we were living in Massachusetts and we went skiing. And the ski trip didn't end so well. I ended up with a broken elbow. But I was on duty that night to make dinner. So I was going to go ahead and make a wine chicken, but it didn't turn out that they had any wine. So after we went to the hospital, after they set my arm, after I broke it, right, basically, they had B&B. I'm adding a can of cream of chicken soup now, which I just did, and I'm adding that to, and the camera can come over here and see what I'm doing, so if they don't mind. So I've got the chicken soup, I've got the cream of chicken soup, the cream of mushroom soup in here. And now what I'm going to add is, now if you're making this for a big crowd, right, I would use 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup and cream of chicken soup. Now what we're doing is we're going to add some liquid to this. So I'm adding some chicken broth to it. And this is 32 ounces, and I've already put 16 ounces into this already. And now what we're going to do is we're going to stir this up because it's not even, the soup is not even hot yet. Okay. So, and it's like a soup when you're making it. And the next thing is that we're going to add wonderful, I love these so much, pimentos. And this is 1/3 of the cup of pimentos, okay, that we want to get in there. So it gives it some color, okay. This is going to go on pastry puffs. Next thing we want to do is add some heavy cream. And I'm going to do this is a half a quart. That's about half a quart. And we want to stir that in. It's really a creamy, wonderful dish that your family will love, right? And then I'll add sour cream to it in just a little while. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some water chestnuts. And this is a small can of water chestnuts. And they make a real difference when you're making this. because it's got a little crunch to it. It really tastes good. And everybody gets, I've made it for about 175 people at a party one night. I'm going to cut up, the next thing I'm going to do is cut up my orange pepper and my red pepper, because they're going to go in there and they're going to sit on the top. So what I want to do is get rid of that little rind here. And I'm going to cut these up like this into strips. And for orange strips, red strips, green strips, whatever you want to put in. But it's really delicious. You want to put them on the top because this is going to give it the color it needs. And it doesn't take long to make this because you're really just heating everything up. But the secret to this is brandy and Benedictine, which we're going to put in just a moment. And put another piece in there. Cut that off. You can use those little sweet peppers that are really small and cut them up in, like, you don't have to cut them in strips, but you can cut them up in like quarter size pieces. So that's that. I don't need any more of that. Now I'm going to take my red pepper and we're going to cut that. And I want to take this part out. You always want to take that part out, and you want to clean it out for a minute, which I'm going to do. And then you want to cut it and take off those wonderful little pieces that are in there, so you don't have those to deal with. And so we're talking about this right here. Where the membrane is, where the seeds are, you want to take that out. And you want to cut that out. So we're going to cut this up and put the red in. So there's going to be lots of colors in here. And you could add some more pimento to it if you wanted to. And let's do this. All right. You can make your strips smaller if you want to. You can cut them in half. But I kind of like to see them in the actual dish, because they look really pretty when you do this. So let's do this. Let's stir it up again. And so it's very white right now, but you're going to see all the red. The red's going to be on top when you serve it. So let's add our B&B to it. And that is about a half a cup of B&B. And that's brandy and Benedictine. You could use wine if you wanted to, but I like to use B&B. And it burns off. Remember, you're not going to get inebriated or anything like that when you just use a little bit of wine or liqueur or whatever, because it burns off. And it just has a nice, fresh taste that, you know, from the plants or whatever they are. So then we're going to put in peas. But I forgot my sour cream. Hold on. And we want just to put about, I'd say, a third of a cup of whipped cream. Because you don't want it to get so thick. Not whipped cream. I'm sorry. Sour cream. And I use a low-fat sour cream when I'm making this. And I think, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more of our pimentos to it. Just a minute. I have to get them out of the refrigerator, which is right here. And this really does have a pretty color to it. And I can add a little bit of the juice, so it gives it a little bit more. And let's do this. Sometimes people put a whole bottle in, but I think that's really nice now, the way it's looking. So now you want it, now what you want it to do is you want it to simmer for about 30 minutes. And I'm going to add a little bit more liquid to it because I don't want it to be so thick. You know, it'll start coming down a little bit. Now while we're waiting for this, I'm going to add some pepper and some salt to it. Pepper, ground pepper, and what I was going to say is, if you're on a low sodium, don't put any salt in it. We use low sodium or no salt in all of ours because we have a friend who actually cannot have salt. So what we do is we make it easy. So we're going to take a little short break, and when we come back, we will put the peas. I can put the peas in right now, right? The peas, so you don't have to do anything. It's one major dish. So now you can see it's starting to see all the different things that are in it. You can start seeing the peas and everything else. And you'll see when we put it on the pastry puffs how beautiful it looks. So we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's The Chef You and I. And all of our recipes are going to be up on our website, The Chef You and I. And if you want to watch the video so you can see how to do it, it makes it really simple, and a printout recipe for you. So the next thing we're going to make is our cakes. And then in the end, we'll make our salad because salads don't take very long, but the cakes do. So we'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I, and now we're going to make our lemon velvet cake with limoncello, and we're going to decorate it with these beautiful candy lemon. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our liquid, our eggs, our water, and limoncello. And what we're going to do, I did a half a cup of my limoncello that I make, and I'm going to add the oil to it in a minute. Got to beat it for 2 minutes, and I'm going to add the oil to it, 2/3 of a cup of oil, and it's a cup of water. So I gave it a half a cup of water and a half a cup of limoncello. So we're going to stop this for a minute, and we're going to put the timer on. We're going to put the timer on for 2 minutes. Timer. There we go. There we go. So I started that. So when it goes off, then you turn it off. Make it really simple for yourself. I'm using a mix, but I added all the limoncello, which I make, and I've got recipes on my website for making limoncello, and it makes a great cake. We could have made a bundt cake, but we're using our 360 pans today, and we're going to do a cake that's a 2-layer cake. And we sprayed it with the duck fat spray, the wonderful Cornhuskers duck fat spray. And then I use parchment paper. So, because I want to get it out, and it'll be really pretty. And you want to let it cool, and then take it out, and then put it on a cake plate. And it's really not hard to do that. So it makes it simple. Make sure you get all your dry ingredients in here and combined. So that looks really rich. You can see how yellow it is. So we're doing everything kind of with lemon today. And I do make a limoncello chicken as well. So this winter we'll make another chicken recipe. And if you've got any recipes that you want to send in to us, send it to Raaker, K, like Kathryn, Raaker, 123@gmail.com. And we've got a brand new email coming up for The Chef You and I, and I'll be able to send it to you next time. It'll be up on our website as well. So, well, we're done with that. So let's turn that off. Whoops. Don't want to hurt yourself, Kathryn. Just a minute. Hold on. And turn this off. Okay, and I need to take these gloves off. All right. Now that we're done with it, we want to discard this. And we don't need this anymore. We need this. So we'll take this and put this over here. And right now we're waiting we're waiting for our limoncello to get done, or not limoncello, our chicken to get done. So I'm going to take these and move this out of the way. So if you're having problems cutting your calories down, just like I said, just email me or go up on our website. We have a lot of recipes up there that actually you can use that are low calorie. They don't have a lot of fats and stuff in it. That's enough in there. So hold on. Wait a minute. I need another one here. I'll do the rest here. And I was going to use this cake for something else that we did for Halloween, and I changed my mind. And now what we're going to do is use it for, it's, you know, these are the holidays coming up, and you want to do something special for your family. And, you know, it gets darker at night. And let's do this. Right. You want to cover the bottom of that. And these layers may not be really, really tall, but that's fine. And we'll do that. And we're going to put this into a 350-degree oven. I'm going to get all of that out of there. 350-degree oven for till when you can take a toothpick and it comes clean. And so that's what's important. It's usually 35 minutes. It all depends upon if you have a gas range or if you have an electric range. So let's take a break and we'll come back with our second cake, which is going to be a pineapple upside down cake because everybody doesn't like lemon cake. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll take a break right now. We'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and I, and we're making our pineapple upside down cake. And the thing is that we're going to use this type of pineapple that's all crushed pineapple. And then I may use a few of these when we get it out and we put some cherries in it and stuff like that. So the one thing that we are going to do is I have to cut the top of this this topping part. I've already got the butter on the bottom, but it said spread this all over here. And that's going to be the topping. And then we're going to put the pineapple on top of that. And then we're going to actually put a little bit of brown sugar. I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar here, like that, because it's already got the butter. And then it says undrained pineapple, which is right here. And I'm going to do this across the top of this. Okay. And since there's juice in here, which helps, this is one of our 360 pans that you can use as a baking pan. And we do have other baking pans. So here we go. I'm going to put that on there. And I think, like I said, I think I'm going to add some of this pineapple. And I'm going to break it apart like that into these areas right here. And, oh, I have a knife right here. Hold on. A knife right here. And I'm going to add a little bit more liquid here in a minute. I'm not going to use the cherries yet. The cherries will go on top later. And it doesn't, actually, this recipe doesn't call for cherries, so I don't know. This is the first time I've ever done a recipe like this before, so everything is coming out well. So we're just going to get this in here. Right? Okay. And I'm moving along. All right, now I'm going to actually make the cake mix. So I need an egg. And I need 2/3 cup of water. And we're going to mix this up. And I'm going to put that in here and this in here. And it says 2 minutes. So I'm going to have my producer look at the time. And we'll do that. There's 30 seconds to mix it in. Then stop it. And then you do this to get it all mixed in here. And then 2 minutes. and it'll come out really good. Now, this is not a lot of batter, so it's just for one layer. One layer. It says medium. And then what we're going to do after this is done, we'll put this in the oven, and we'll take our other cake and ice it and put the lemons on it and some leaven. We're going to shred a lemon and put some shredding on it on top of it. Almost 2 minutes. 10 seconds. We're almost done. Okay, we're done. Now, we'll take this out, put this down, put these in here, and move everything over here. Now, right, so what we'll do now is we will put this in here and take this over here, and we're going to pour this into, we're going to put the batter over the top of everything. Right. I'm going to get all that batter. And it looks really good. Everybody, I don't know anybody that doesn't like pineapple upside down cake, unless you don't like pineapple, right? So you want to cover this all over. Right. And we'll put this in the oven, 350. Right. 350 for, it says 40 to 45 minutes. Right? Because you're putting fruit with it and a lot of other stuff. A topping. So. And you could serve it just like this if you wanted to. All right. We'll take this over here. We'll put this on. And our wonderful, our puff pastry is finished. I'm going to put this in the oven. We're going to take a little short break. We'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and I. And what we're going to do is we're going to ice the cake, and I'm going to actually do some shredded lemon peel onto the cake, okay? And so you want to go this way, not back and forth, just one way. And the cool thing is, it's going to be a great, great cake. I love lemon. And we're going to do lemon peel here as well. All right, so there you go. All right, because you just need enough there. So what I want to do next is I want to shred some lemon peel. Okay. And we can do it like that. And a lot of people love it, so I do too. And you just want to put it in different places. You want a lot on it. It's not hard to do, but it gives it gives it a different flavor when you do this. Now, do a little bit more. All right, so I've done the lemon zest, or got as much out as I could, right? Right. I never professed to be a major baker. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the other layer and we're going to take it out of the pan. And the reason why I use parchment paper, see how easy that is to take it out? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip it and put it on here like that. And then, see how simple that is? Right. And it made it a lot easier. So we have that on there. We can move it over a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to add the icing again. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shred this real quick. So I have enough to put on the top as well. And spread it apart. Okay. And I have these wonderful yellow candies that are lemons, right, that we're going to put on top of there as well. So let's go ahead and finish icing it. Come on, just doesn't want to come out tonight. So remember that the recipes are all going to be on the Chef You and I. And if you have recipes that you want to send us, just send it to kraaker123@gmail.com. Very shortly we'll have our new wonderful email that's the Chef You and I. And we'll have that up very shortly. So let's do this. And that'll be really pretty. And I'm going to ice the rest of this later because I got other things going on in the oven. Okay. I'm hoping I have enough to do the whole cake, but I may have to make some more icing to go on the cake. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is put some of these on there. Right. And I'm also going to put these on top of it. Right. Like that. And I'm going to make some icing up for the rest of the cake, which is really sweet. And I wanted to do everything in lemon tonight because I think it looks so pretty and it tastes so good. So I made everything with limoncello. Remember that. There we go. And I can ice it more. And during the break, I will make some more icing and do the rest of it. How about that? So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. I'm going to put it over here like that. And so we're basically done with that. And we're going to make a salad. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. I'll have made some more icing and then we'll make the salad and then we'll serve the beautiful B&B chicken over the... Oh yes, we have another cake in the oven. We have to wait for that to get done. We'll be back. We're back on the Chef You and I, and now we're going to make a different kind of salad. And this is actually organic, 50-50, a mix of spring and baby spinach. And we're going to add some fruit to it, some tomatoes, which are fruits, by the way, some feta cheese, cucumbers, and olives to make it a really unusual salad. Okay, so here we go. I've already started cutting the cucumbers, as you can see. And so what you do in order to get that look, right, is you take your fork and go down the side of it. So then all you have to do is this, right? Put it in there, and it makes it simple. If you don't like the seeds, you can take the seeds out, but it's not going to look as attractive. Let me say that. But if you don't like seeds in your cucumbers, I do it without seeds and with seeds. So here we go. These are English cucumbers, by the way. And they're great for appetizers, too. So, you know, you can do that. We're going to have maybe a couple of our shorts in with our show tonight. I'm not sure about that, but you may see some things that we've done already for cheese dips and a few other things that we've done. So, we've done that. Now, I still have another one, so I'm going to do this one. That's good. And, you know, you could make some cucumbers with vinegar and sugar. I've done that before. And my mom used to make that all the time. So maybe I'll do that. Since I have another cucumber left, I could do that very easily. And we could save it for tomorrow. That would be good. So then you got your cucumbers there. And that's about it. So we'll put those in here. And then I want to do tomatoes. So I'm going to use a different knife. I'm going to use my trusty knife. And I'm going to cut the tomatoes like this. And make them into like little squares. Little cubes. Keep it together. And just do this. And actually, I kind of like the tomatoes cut up like this because, you know, a lot of people don't like a whole tomato or, you know, a quarter of a tomato, but whatever. But I'm going to have my producer in a minute get me a bowl so I can put these cucumbers in. And I'll use the other cucumber for the salad. But I just thought of that. Just let me get a bowl right here. I'm going to take our cucumbers and that I've just made, and I'm going to put them in here in this bowl. And I'm going to add some vinegar and sugar. And we'll have wonderful pickled cucumbers. People love it. I love these, especially in the winter. So we'll keep these other ones here. So I'll put these right here. And you can also add tomatoes to it or onions to it, but I just like it as pickled, okay? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put these in there. And I have my trusty dusty little scraper, which is a blessing, actually. And yeah, that's fine. That's great. We've got that. And we could actually cut these up a little bit more if we wanted to for the salad. Right. So we're not making a lot of salad tonight because there's only two of us. And my producer and myself. And he's actually a wonderful producer. A lot of people know him. And it's great to have somebody that really knows their stuff. And I want to thank him and all the other people that help us put the Chef You and I together. That's Charlotte and her husband. And so anyhow, we've got that. I'll just need to get some sugar for the other thing. But just a minute. Hold on. I got to do this real quick. I don't want to cut myself, so it's really easy to do it this way. But I'll put the rest of the tomato in there, but let me do this. I'm going to cut this up a little bit just to put in the salad. So we're doing it a little differently. And then I'm going to show you how to make the cucumber because it's really, really, really good. A lot of people, what they do is they use onions as well and tomatoes in it. And you can do that. But I'm not going to do that tonight. We're just going to do it a real simple way. Because it's almost like having your own pickles, right? So here we go. And I don't know. Maybe another tomato. I'm not sure. I don't think we need one, but maybe. So we'll do this. And, you know, you can find all of these recipes from today on our website at thechefyouandi.com, right? And here we go. So this, actually everything we made tonight doesn't take a long time, except that you have to wait for the oven, the oven to do its thing. And that takes time. So take a break when you're doing this and come back to it. Even chefs on other television shows do the same things. It doesn't always come out right away. So now this is already done, already washed, right? So we're going to add this to it. And then we're going to add our olives. We have olives. We have green olives and black olives. And we're also going to put in grapes tonight. And so I'm going to take these grapes. They're pretty big. They're purple grapes. They're seedless. And put those in, okay? Because they're delicious. You could do apples. You could do whatever you want fruit-wise. But I think this is such a nice salad. And it's kind of pretty, actually, as well. So it kind of reminds me of kind of a Greek salad. And I love Greek salads. And you can make your own dressing or, let people choose what they want to have on their dressing. I'm going to make later on tomorrow a limoncello dressing because the whole program was around lemons, a lot of it. So here we go. I think that's enough. I don't know if we need any more, maybe some more lettuce. And then we've got it done. Look at how pretty that is. We're going to show you in a second. And I'm going to put some cheese in it. Okay? So here we go. Let me put those. We're going to actually put these on the plate. And then I'll put some cheese on it. And then you'll have a delectable salad. Look at how pretty that is. With the grapes. And I'll get down there and get some more of these. Right? And then do this. Do that. I'm going to take some pictures in a minute. After we get the rest of our whole program, everything that we did on the program today. And a lot of people like tomatoes. So I'll add a little bit more tomatoes there. And then just add this. Clean hands, by the way, all the time. And here's that, okay? So we'll do that. And now we're going to put some cheese on top of it. Feta cheese. And I want to crumble it up a little bit. Okay. Right. And then wait until you go to serve it to put the dressing on, because it can get real soggy if you do it like that. So here we go. So see how refreshing that salad is, because you don't really want to make anything. Our B&B chicken's kind of heavy, so anyhow, we're going to show you how we're going to serve that. Then we got to check on our cake. Oh, our cake's out already. We got to move it and turn it upside down. So let me take a little short break, and we'll be right back, and we'll show you everything we've done. We're back on the Chef You and I, and I'm going to show you how to do this. It's pretty simple. You actually just take your vinegar, and I think this is about 3 or 4 tablespoons, maybe 5 tablespoons of vinegar, and then add water, okay, and then you add a little bit of sugar and water together. All right, I'm going to do a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half of sugar. I'm going to add some water to it, so it actually becomes sugar water, and then just do that and stir it a little. Whoops, I just changed my blouse, kids, because it got a little bit wild. And then add some salt and pepper, and you put it in the refrigerator with some saran wrap on it, and we'll show you how, we're going to put everything out for you to see, because everything's done on the Chef You and I. We just have to flip the our one actually our pineapple upside down cake. We'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's The Chef You and I after these messages. We're back on The Chef You and I, and we've come to the best part of our show at the end, where we get to eat everything that we've made. And the first thing we made was our wonderful B&B chicken, which you see right here, which is just absolutely beautiful. And we put it on puff pastry. Then we made our lemon cake, and it's actually limoncello lemon cake with wonderful candy lemon on the side. And then we made a pineapple upside down cake, and we did it all with parchment paper, and it worked out really well. It worked out well for me, so use parchment paper. It really works. And also, I used my wonderful gourmet duck fat spray on everything that we did, and we used the beautiful pans. But here's the cucumbers that I made for you, the pickled cucumbers, and then we made the really beautiful salad that has got fruit and all kinds of different fruit and olives and whatever, and you can make your own dressing. We want to say thank you to everyone that contributes to our show, and don't forget to go to our website, thechefyouandI.com, where you'll find our recipes and a video on how to do it. We want to say thank you so much for joining us. Join us next time on The Chef You and I. Don't forget to go to our website at thechefyouandI.com. Bon appetit. I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks for joining us on The Chef You and I Show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandI.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.